Last night, the United States of America bombed Venezuela, attacking the capital with Apache helicopters, blowing up satellite dishes, blowing up Air Force bases, and capturing the president of Venezuela and his wife. President Nicolas Maduro is currently in New York City awaiting a trial from the United States of America for drug trafficking, narco-terrorism, and whatever charges they say. This is against all international law, and I've never seen anything like this. Quite literally, kidnapping, by definition, kidnapping the president of a foreign country. This operation is changing the way the world looks at things. Why don't Russia and China just go kidnap their opposition now and install a pro-friendly government? Why doesn't North Korea capture the South Korean president and put a pro-North Korean president in? Because the United States just did that. Venezuela is going to have a Zionist president. They're going to have a pro-U.S. president, and there's nothing that can stop it. It has happened. The capture was performed by Delta forces at around 3 a.m. There were around 5 helicopters. President Trump says one of the helicopters were hit. Everything was okay, though. Everything made it back. The soldiers made it back. Maduro was awakened in his presidential palace that was guarded like a fortress, as Trump says. He tried to get to a safe room, but he was not able to. Him and his wife were captured, taken on a helicopter after securing an airport in Caracas, the capital. And this is where we're at now. I want to say that Maduro, overall, the majority of Venezuelans did not like Maduro. The majority of Venezuelans did not want him as president. Now, does that justify what the United States did? No. Trump going in there and installing a new government is awful, is against international law, and morally it is wrong. If the people want a new president, If the people want a new president, they need to do this. The U.S. is not the savior. America is not supposed to tell countries how they're supposed to govern. Going into Iraq, replacing Saddam. Going into Libya, replacing Gaddafi. Going in Afghanistan, trying to replace the Taliban. It ends in death. It ends in suffering for the people. Because the United States, we're Americans. We don't speak their language. We're not their culture. We're not their race. We do not know how they operate. Therefore, installing a government for them, as Trump said on Fox News about 10 minutes ago is going to happen, is going to be bad. And I morally think that it is incredibly wrong to, number one, bomb a capital such as pretty as Caracas, and number two, to install a government. It's wrong. It's horrible. It's wrong. It's not the way to do this. And by arresting Maduro this way is beyond any comprehension I can have of international law. International law in the United Nations doesn't matter. We understand that, right? It doesn't really matter. Netanyahu is a war criminal. Never going to really matter, right? They're never going to arrest him. But the United Nations makes it clear that countries have presidents. The president of the country is immune. The president of each country gets a vote, whatever. That's how it works. Kidnapping a president, whether you view him as legitimate or not, the United Nations viewed him as a legitimate president. This is such a breach of everything and a violation of everything that now gives China, Russia, North Korea, the UK, Iran, Israel now can go kidnap whoever they want. Any president, leader, whoever they want. Now, should Maduro have stepped down? Yes. I believe Maduro should have stepped down. There's been too many Venezuelans that don't like him. The situation economically there is awful. The country's weak. They're poor. But putting a new president into Venezuela, is it going to affect Israel and the Middle East? No. Venezuela is a small government, a small country. They're irrelevant. Their affairs are irrelevant. They don't have a strong military. They're not a UN permanent council member. They're not powerful and influential in the world. You could put a communist there. You could put a fascist, a capitalist. You could put anybody in charge. The world's not going to change. This isn't Russia or Ukraine, Taiwan. This is a country that truly doesn't matter. And I hate to say it like that, but that's the truth. It doesn't matter. So should a new president who is a capitalist, maybe more open, allowing free elections, should he be in power? Yes. Should Maria Machado, who the U.S. is going to put in power, be in charge? Hell no. Should the U.S. dictate who was in charge of Venezuela? Hell no. Should the U.S. have done this? Hell no. Does that mean that I am a number one supporter of Maduro? Hell no. But the way this was carried out was horribly wrong. And the consequences of this are going to be severe. They're going to be world changing. And I guess the only winner of this is the Venezuelans. They wanted a new government, you're going to get it. I guess congrats. The world is going to suffer consequences. Countries are going to look at this and go, why don't we just do that? Why don't we kidnap another leader? Why should we listen to the United Nations Charter? Why should we listen to international law? If the U.S. doesn't, we're not going to. For the United States, it makes us look piss poor. It makes us look pitiful. It makes us look like a disgrace. We're not worth taking seriously. We bombed Iran in June during the middle of negotiations. We can't be taken seriously. We just stole Venezuela's president in the middle of negotiations. I mean, we're a piece of shit country. We're liars. We're led by a president who's a liar. He's corrupt. He likes to make deals. No, you don't. You like to fake making deals. But my stance at the end of the day is this. Comment your thought. What is your stance? Make sure to subscribe. But my stance would be this. Maduro was a bad leader, and I like to see a new leader in charge of Venezuela. Who do I want in charge of that? I want the Venezuelan people to be in charge of their new government. I do not, and it's going to happen, I do not want the United States to be the ones telling Venezuela how they're supposed to govern because it benefits the United States via, obviously, oil. I guess from Trump, you could say good idea, good intentions. Actually, the intentions were bad, but good for Venezuela, the Venezuelan people, bad for the world, bad for Maduro. He doesn't deserve that. Maduro's not a ruthless dictator. Maduro doesn't kill people. Maduro's a goofy guy who sings on stage. Is he some narco-terrorist criminal who deserves the death penalty, which he could get? No, he doesn't deserve that. He deserves to step down in power and live the rest of his life as an ex-president.